slaves and abolitionists as they blazed a trail towards freedom through the darkest of nights. Yes, we can. It was sung by immigrants as they struck out from distant shores and pioneers who pushed westward against an unforgiving wilderness. Yes, we can.
Now, you're not able to vote right now, are you?
I don't know.
Okay, so are you looking forward to him being president again in the next 4 years?
Yes,
Why?
because he keeps us safe and he protects us because he tells God what to do and to protect us.
I mean, I think that people sort of had, not illusions, but they had hope. I mean, that was part of his campaign. They had hope that things would change, and you can't undo several centuries of negativity in 8 years, right? So I think a lot of that hope was, it's good to feel hope, but it doesn't start or stop with Obama.
My oldest daughter, she's gay.
Yeah, but
She's been with her partner for a long time. They have a great life. They do well. They don't.
I'm a Christian, and I don't believe that a child should be brought up in a family that doesn't have a man and a woman.
People are just gonna start being like, get over it. Like,
They're just gonna have to accept it.
just accept it. Like, this is what we're
'Cause it's
doing.
here.
This
It's
is
here and it's now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's going to all kind of settle down, and people are going to kind of get into the groove and kind of accept it for what it is, whether you agree with it or not. It is what it is.
But why?
Needs
but,
to
but,
learn.
but why? How does that? What? This is his interview, but at the same time, how does that dictate performance as an adult or being a responsible person? Because the only thing that we can really hope for anybody in society is that they're a responsible person.
Right.
They can pay their own bills, pay their own taxes, stay out of trouble.
Be a productive member of society.
A child learns from a woman, and a child learns from a man.
It's the 21st century and everyone needs to get with the picture. Everyone is equal, we're all human beings, and fuck anyone who says otherwise.
I think gays should be able to get married. There's no problem with that. If they want to like a man, they should like a man.
And basically, I think we should have known from the start that if someone's going to run for president to be the head of the U.S. empire, they're going to be carrying out the agenda of the U.S. empire. And if they're doing that, they can't at the same time represent the people that are being oppressed by that all over the world. And he has definitely been doing a good job for U.S. empire and occupation and war and repression and all that stuff.
My name is Christopher Holmes. I sit out here in front of Hollywood High holding signs so I can survive. I graduated this school in 1980, and 38 years later, here I am. It's not.
Can you hold the mic up by your
It's not of my own doing. It is things that happen within our life. A divorce caused me to become this way, and now I'm very much enjoying it because I meet people every day, and I always have a kind word to say.
I love Barack Obama. I think he's great. He was the first, I'm pretty young, and so it was the first presidential election that I got to vote in. I voted for him. I was all about it. I think what he's done during his presidency has been amazing, especially his health care reform, because I know that both of us are actors, and we're both poor, and so I'm still allowed to be on, I mean, I'm just being honest here. I'm still allowed to be on my mom's health insurance, so I really love him and support him just for that fact alone, I think he's very attractive. I love his wife, Michelle Obama. I love their whole family. I just think they're altogether awesome. So
With the advent of the internet, the 24-hour news service, all of that stuff going on out there, there's so much information out there that you can access.
That's not television.
No, I get that. However, it still can all be accessed on the internet, and there's so much information out there. And I don't know if a lot of people take the time to disseminate it to find out what's true and what is not.
Only 43% of people in the state of Mississippi have access to internet. Under 50%. There are people people that just don't know. If it doesn't come over the rabbit ears, they don't know. They don't know.
How do you feel about people who are using their religion to say that this is wrong?
I think that's ignorance, and I think they need to sit down and pray about it.
How do you pick what you believe in out of the Bible? Or do you take the whole thing? I
take all of it. But the thing is, we as humans can't judge anybody. Only God can judge.
Okay.
There's millions of people that are out there that are like that are white, that are black, that are Latin, and that are also Asian as well. There's a huge population of Asians that are out there that are dirt poor too, that come from Southeast Asia, and they have nothing. They have nothing. So they don't have the same level of access to that type of information.
Well, then shame on us as a society. Yeah, exactly. Shame on us for not allowing or going after those people and getting them the information.
And I wish more people could be like that in the world. As far as the way our world looks now, I myself really try not to look at it, because one of these days some dummy is going to push that button. I hope not, but somebody's going to have an attitude or just say forget it.
Well, I just think it's all gone a bit crazy with how easy it is to get a gun over here. I mean, I don't know quite what the process is, but it seems that it's very easy for people to get them, and then obviously that can fall into the wrong hands, and ultimately it's just going to escalate and get worse, and very many innocent people die because of it, which obviously is not something that I'm sure America is condoning and wants to happen.
I mean, that's just the tip of the iceberg, really, because there's been a number of cyber attacks on really critical things that are much more important than Sony, like the utility grid, like, you know, the Department of Defense. And if they're causing this much dissension and havoc and fear just by hacking into a movie studio, imagine what they could do with, you know, something that's actually important. Not that it isn't important, but, you know, things that could actually really create a widespread negative impact.
What are your thoughts on the 2012 election?
It's going to be close, but I pretty much didn't want to go for either one of them. My vote was actually for Gary Johnson, so I just can't believe anything either one of them says. So, I mean, best luck to the both of them.
Politics are tough because, you know, the economy's so rough. It's kind of like they say everything we want to hear,
Right.
then do nothing about it, ultimately.
Right. Do you feel like they're not really on the levels that you and I are on the street?
Of course they're not. That's what the whole Occupy thing has been about, right? With the 99 percenters and the 1 percenters and all that.
Right.
If they would actually do that and take the time instead of like when it's time to win a vote, if they would do that during their tenure,
right,
they would come around and see how hard it is and how people are struggling, and truly people are having like 1, 2, and 3 jobs just to try and make ends meet.
Right.
And it's very, very difficult right now.
Barack Obama had promised many things in his campaign, and Barack Obama has kept a lot of those promises. I think some people may not realize it. Maybe he's not the showiest president, but if you go to politifact.com, you'll find, I think that he's kept over 159 of his promises. And I think that his GOP rivals in Congress have kept, I think, 9. So Barack Obama's done a lot.
You consciously in your mind, you say, I am going to reach out.
It's my community. I need to take care of it.
But you take ownership up. You take responsibility for it. Why are we now living in a society where not enough people take ownership and responsibility for their own communities?
A lot of that for me is I still think it comes down to the breakdown of the family unit as a general. If you've got one parent, be it a man or be it a woman, and they're raising 1, 2, or 3 kids, or even some or more, that parent's not always around. So the kids are out running around. They've got all kinds of different influences, whether it be, fortunately for my girls, you know, they had a mom and a dad.
The proponents for same-sex marriages are going to look at this administration and smile upon it and say, you know, the Obama administration did a wonderful thing. I think proponents that are, you know, against same-sex marriages are going to use this as extra ammunition for the issues that they already have against this administration.
I think the fact that so many people are losing their lives under false pretenses, you know, this is unbelievable that we even have our government, even in office, like still able to tell the lies and all of the things that have been going on, and that we wanted to impeach a president for sexual favors in the White House, but for somebody who entered a country illegally without the UN's okay, and the fact that he sent our you know, men and women who are poor and from underserved communities as well to fight other people who have been kept down from the economic inequalities, is just egregious. And, we've got to really, as a nation, say, what are we going to stand for? Are we going to stand for false imprisonment? Are we going to stand for war and human rights violations? Or are we going to make the world into what it really should be? So.
Thank you.
Thank you, Freddie.
Right. Broke, I got nowhere to live, I got no food. Give me food stamps, gets me on my feet, gets me moving.
And how do you monitor people like that? Like who should be allowed to have that? How do you prove that? Like that somebody's out there working and really.
I don't know. That's a hard spot to be in right there. It's kind of like life. Life's a catch-22. If you don't live, you won't die. If you don't die, you didn't live.
I like that. That's a good saying.
It was sung by immigrants as they struck out from distant shores and pioneers who pushed westward against an unforgiving wilderness. Yes, we can. It was the call of workers who organized, women who reached for the ballot, a president who chose the moon as our new frontier, and a king who took us to the mountaintop and pointed the way to the promised land. Yes, we can to justice and equality.
I never dreamed that would ever happen. In fact, if somebody had told me it was going to happen, I wouldn't have believed it.